Hi Megan, what are you doing?
I'm just making sure my smoker's going because I'm about to go and check on my bees.
Can we ask you a few questions?
For sure.
Great. How long have you worked at Science North?
I've worked at Science North for 6 years, and actually I just celebrated my 6 years this month.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
What did you study in school?
I took zoology at university because I've always wanted to work with animals, so it was a good fit for me.
What is the most interesting animal you've ever worked with?
Oh gosh. I think at least one of the more iconic animals I've ever worked with is polar bears up in Cochrane, Ontario.
What's your favorite thing about polar bears?
Oh, I think one of the best parts about them is their adaptations and how they're so well suited to live in the area that they're in, but there's like a danger factor there that was kind of attractive.
Did you have a favorite thing about working with polar bears?
No, but I definitely have a least favorite, and it was the smell. They have a very strong odor.
What are you doing right now?
So I'm just suiting up to put on all of my beekeeping equipment. So I've got my veil on, about to put my gloves on, just to make sure that I don't get stung, because it just kind of ruins your day a little bit.
Is it true that bees can't see white?
I don't know if that's true or not, but white seems to be a better color when working with bees. Dark colors seems to make them a little bit more aggressive, and it might just be the fact that a lot of their predators are dark in color.
Why did you start beekeeping?
Oh, bees have always really fascinated me, and I just feel like there's so much to them, and keeping bees is really interesting just to watch them do their own thing. So I don't think I'll ever want to like get honey or anything from them, but there's definitely something really neat just to watch them do the things that they're just supposed to do.
You're working on a citizen science project about bees, right?
Yeah, actually not honeybees though, it's mostly bumblebees. But basically we're trying to find out the nesting behaviors of bees, of bumblebees, and some of our native species are species at risk. So we've partnered up with Wildlife Preservation Canada and the University of Guelph to help them figure out why bees nest where they do. So, and that's targeting our native species, because our honeybees, which are the bees that we have in our beehives, are not actually native to Canada.
Can anyone get involved in this project?
Absolutely, yep. We'll actually be doing a lot of bumblebee catching and identification throughout the summer here at Science North, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So anyone is definitely welcome to check that out. Actually, we're going to start with this hive over here.
So tell us about what you're doing.
So I'm just letting the bees know that I'm coming in. So my smoker basically just lets the bees know that the beekeeper is coming in. It's a survival instinct for them too, because the smoke kind of stimulates a wildfire.
Is there a difference between honeybees and bumblebees?
Oh yeah. So honeybees, which are the guys that are in this hive here, they are a little bit smaller and definitely not nearly as fuzzy as bumblebees. And of course, like I said, they're actually not native to Canada. Whereas bumblebees are native to Canada, and they're usually quite a bit bigger, a little bit kind of more round and much more fuzzy.
How many times have you been stung by your bees?
Oh, I think I might have lost count. But any time that I was stung, definitely was just, I wasn't wearing my protective equipment, or I was very clearly interrupting them while they were doing something important, so I don't hold it against them.
How do you get honey out of the hives?
Well, here at Science North, our purpose isn't really to get honey out of them, but actually there's a bunch of bees right here that are working on some honey right here. And so we really just let the bees keep their honey. If I were a commercial beekeeper and wanted to get the honey out of the hive, it requires some special equipment. So we're mostly just interested in kind of the biology aspect.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Megan.
Hey, it's my pleasure, guys. Anytime, if you want to come into the apiary, you're welcome to join me.